morning, everyone. This is Tim, and it's early, and Wes is sleeping right now, so I'm going to try to get this out as fast as possible. This is going to be a video response to Underwood and his double aught tell video, and I'm going to go down through and just try to knock these out as fast as possible. So he basically put forth 10 categories of different areas to rate yourself as a player and GM. And I'm going to modify it slightly and talk about how I am slightly different in some aspects when I'm at a convention versus my home game. And these are rated from 1 to 100, 1 being you're not very much like that, and 100 being you're the best or the highest at that category that you know of. So stamina. I think I'd rate myself at a 60. Probably when I was younger, I'd probably rate this at like a 95. When I had my own room down in my dad's basement, I'd invite a bunch of friends over, and sometimes we would play for the entire weekend. So yeah, we'd play hardcore long sessions. Now that life has sort of moved on and things changed, if I get 4 hours in, or currently like 3 hours on Skype, that's good for me. So I'd say about 60. If I do manage to go to a convention, however, I run every single slot there is. So for GasCon coming up, I'm going to be running 7 different games. Not back to back, but I have like an hour in between each one to, go get some food, buy some stuff. So probably at a convention, I'm a 90. The next one is Immersive. And like I said, I think I lean more towards the casual gaming style sort of aspect of things. So I'll kind of rate this at a 65. So I guess I'm still, for a casual player, I do try to be more immersive. Next section is Rollplaya. Rollplaya. Do I like to roll the dice? Do I like to kill things and take their stuff? And I'd say I'm probably in the range of like 30 to 40. Depending on what campaign we're playing, what system we're using. But I think overall, probably about a 30. How much work do I put into my games? I've talked about before how I have improv entire sessions, but most of the time that is because the players have gone in a way I didn't expect, or they went to a part of the setting that I don't know very well, things like that. Most of the time, though, I really try to learn the setting inside and out, and I think most of my prep is dealing with that. And NPCs in the setting, the campaign. So I'd say about an 85. I do a lot of work on maps and things too. How much are you like your characters? Or how much are your characters like you? I'd say probably about a 20. There have been times when I've used personal events to flavor what I'm doing in a campaign. I've dealt with some issues too. Sort of like the therapy aspect of role playing. If you go to like a I don't know, psychologist, or I guess even a psychiatrist, where they would say like, okay, well, I'm your dad, you're the son, let's role play this out. And I'm being kind of funny about it, but things like my relationship to my brother, I've included that I think twice now in RPGs, just to sort of maybe help me work through some of those issues. So there has been times where I've put some like specific things, not everything. I don't think I've ever played myself, mainly because I think RPGs for me are entertaining because I get to not be myself, not have all these problems bouncing around in my head. So it's a nice way to sort of take a mental vacation from my daily life. So there's that. The Enforcer. I'd say I'm probably a 50 in this regard. I do try to help GMs by herding the cats from time to time. If players are talking over the GM, I'm like, hey guys, come on. He's trying to describe the hallway, or he's trying to describe the thing that we're facing. Because inevitably, these people will be like, well, what did you just say, man? I didn't hear you. What are we facing? Where are we at? So that, I basically try to help GMs out by sort of reducing the problems of problem players And you know, sometimes people just need a little reminder, like, hey guys, you know, all right, we've been talking about this for a while. Let's get back to the game. You know, things like that. The Showman, and I'm not sure if I really understand this one as well as maybe Andrew described it. I think I'm like a 60 to 70, so I'm probably just gonna say 65. Because I have played really off the wall characters. Uh, I've done some pretty silly things in game. Uh, you know, I guess the low wisdom sort of things. So I guess I've done that. The Fumbler. I have definitely fumbled a couple campaigns, so I'm gonna say I'm probably like a 15. I think Changeling was my biggest fumble ever, and mainly that was because of, I think, a combination of the players and what they wanted to do with their characters, and me not saying no, or me being afraid to say no, or me not directing them enough for what kind of campaign I ran. For some reason, I think half of the characters wanted to return to Arcadia because it was a pleasant place, and that is just not how I read the material. Yes, it could be beautiful and fantastic, but it was also horrific. And maybe for me, just the horrific seems to be a little bit more than the beauty. But yeah, Changeling, I fumbled that. And there's been other campaigns where I think I did so much prep work that I burned myself out before I started, which is kind of weird. I haven't done that in a long time, but I definitely would say that this number would have been higher, you know, maybe like 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Um, but also, I think it was because I was fighting the system. I just didn't realize it was the system that was disagreeing with me so much. So I just found more rules light, open-ended, flexible systems, and that seems to work well for me. The Bard. This is for like playing music and pictures. And when I do run a home campaign, from time to time I will like to use music, but I don't use it all the time. I don't have like theme songs for each player, which would be really cool, but I've never done that. So I'd say like probably about a 60 for me, maybe 65 because of the pictures. I like pictures, maps, props from time to time, and I'll modify this again at conventions. I would put this at like a 90 for me because I do like to have things like scrolls and like I'm gonna run an adventure in Empire of the Petal Throne, and I have all these magical symbols drawn up from the Book of Ebon Bindings. I did those on parchment, and they're going to be all laid out on the table, and it's going to be really cool to see it all sitting there. So for conventions, I definitely like to put more effort into it. So I'd say a 90. And the Challenger, I would say I'm probably a 95. I love to challenge myself. If I've never played a game before, I'll run it at conventions. Never played it, never ran it. I would just read up on it, learn it, and share it with other people. I'll try to play races and classes that I've never played. I forgot to tell Andrew that in his Forge video, I'd never played a druid before, so that was a little bit wasn't really sure how to play it, and I don't know, that was a bit of a challenge, but I enjoyed it. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put all the categories below and in the description, Zerk's Dungeon. And if you feel like doing a video request, I would ask to go to Andrew's video and put the request there, since it is his video. All right, everyone, thanks. And Wes is still sleeping, so we'll see if I can get another video out. We'll see.